Well, hello everyone, it's NationalFreak, and this is...
Greg from Govlogs.
As you know, he's my best friend, and we've done videos for a long time. But this is a new series we're doing. Greg doesn't play a lot of video games anymore, not like he used to. So I'm going to have him play video games that I think are awesome. No matter how freaky or piss-pants scary they are, he's going to play them.
I bring a change of pants every time.
Yeah, so today he's playing the Stanley Parable, and you've never played this, right?
And I've already peed, so...
He's already peed, so you're in for a treat. This game is one heck of a ride.
It better be a treat.
So I'm going to be here, you do your thing.
Just look over my shoulder. Make sure you're looking over my shoulder the whole time. I want you to backseat drive this entire game, okay?
I will. I'll be like, go there, what are you doing?
By the way, I can't hear anything right now with these, so if I'm like yelling, that's why.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I can't hear a thing.
Yell away.
All right, let's do it. So I don't know how to play this game.
It'll teach you.
Okay. So during this loading time, let me give myself a shameless plug here. My YouTube channel is Govlogs.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
We'll talk later.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple.
So he doesn't have a name? It's just employee 427?
427, and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did.
That's what I do.
Day, every
Pretty much.
of every year.
You just hit buttons on a keyboard.
Just like that. One finger. I don't know how to type, just one finger.
He has a huge office.
What?
Though he had been made exactly for this.
He has a big office. Okay.
He does, yeah.
Stanley
Do
was
it.
happy.
I wish I had an office like that. I don't have an office at all.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Stanley Parable.
Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order
Change of
had
pace.
arrived on the
Something's
monitor
not
for him
right.
to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions.
What are you gonna do, Stanley?
Call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation.
I bet you it's just a Sunday, and he checked his calendar wrong.
It may be.
Shocked,
Maybe.
frozen solid.
Nobody's there, it's
Stanley
Sunday.
found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his
Oh, I go
desk
now.
and stepped out of his office.
How do I move? Okay. How do I look around? Nick, you've ruined me.
I haven't done nothing.
I can't look around. I can only face one direction. Alright, I'll just go about this way then. Hey, I can turn now. Okay, cool. Ah. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Well, where do I go?
Which door?
When Stanley came to a set of two
Too late, I
open
already went.
doors, he entered the door on his left.
Wait, how did it know? How'd the audio know I went to the left already? Okay.
Yet there was not a single
the heck,
person
man?
there either.
I didn't close that.
Wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office,
Do not
hoping he might
alter
find an
without
answer there.
consulting
The whiteboard manager. This is the most boring office.
How to solve disputes with coworkers.
Who's changing the slides? Nobody's here.
Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay.
Nobody's changing. Who's changing the? What the heck, man? I'm gonna knock this over. Ugh.
Oh, there's a broom closet.
Ooh. I wonder if anyone's hiding in here
We opened the door.
with E.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got
Well,
back
I want
on track.
that tape though. I can't look down. Why can't I look down?
I don't know.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be there.
I'm gonna stay here and see what he says.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom
Just sitting in the broom closet.
He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to
just gonna
interact
sit here.
with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet thing.
I'm hearing to be like, Stanley, get the F out of the closet.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm
Okay.
confused.
Who is, like, is this... How does he know everything?
We don't know.
They must have planned for everything when they made this game. Wait for it.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in
Okay.
here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
This guy's kind of a jerk. Now I'm gonna go downstairs. Screw you. Don't tell me what to do. Fine. Ooh, this is creepy.
Are you just gonna sit under the stairs?
I'm just gonna sit under the stairs. Yo, what the heck?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be...
Oh, that'd be the worst thing, wouldn't it?
And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that
Someone's
risk?
in this car.
All because he
They're gonna kill
believed
themselves.
everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Who's in this car?
All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single
brake lights are
moment
on.
for
Someone's
no
in this
reason
car.
at all.
Are you
None of
trying to
it
get
made
them
any
out?
logical
I want to know
sense.
who's in the car.
And as Stanley pondered this,
Nobody's
he
here
began
except
to
for
make
you.
other strange observations.
Maybe they just left
For
the car on
example,
and left.
Why couldn't he see
can't
his
look down,
feet
that's
when
why.
he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him?
Yeah, I
wherever
was
he
wondering that,
went?
actually.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a
Must be.
dream. Oh, what a relief.
That makes me feel a little better about it, though.
To have finally found an answer.
Someone spilled their coffee.
His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't
go all the
crazy
way
after
around the
all.
room.
And he thought to
Gotta
himself,
go around the world?
Look, now you're
I'll
back
wake
at the
up
car.
soon.
What the-
I'll have to go back to my
Dude,
boring
where'd the
real-life
stairs
job
go?
pushing buttons.
Did you
I
listen?
may
He
as
said the
well
rooms were
enjoy this
repeating.
while I'm still
But the
lucid.
stairs are gone.
So
I can't go back
he
up.
imagined
Look.
himself flying
imagined
and began to
himself
gently
flying.
float above
Woohoo!
the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star. And
Whoa!
it appeared. It was
There's
so
the car!
much fun. And
You're so
Stanley
infatuated
marveled
with that
he had
car.
This
still
is
not
fun.
woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that
I don't
I'm
have that
doing and
accent.
thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly
This
strange.
is so existential
I'm
right now.
dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream.
But how is it flying through
could it be?
space?
Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever
Open.
been in his life. Now, here
I wanna
are
go
voices
home.
of These words as quite
I
short.
want to go home!
After all,
This is really
he knew for
intense.
certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float
Yeah,
amid the
exactly.
magical stars just
Exactly.
a moment ago? How else would
This
the voice
says exit,
explain all
right?
that? This
Right?
voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was
This
in
makes no
control,
sense!
that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin.
I'm asleep,
the
right?
press
This
of
is
the
a dream,
mattress
right?
on his back,
Yeah.
the fresh air of a world outside this one.
Yeah, let me do
Let
that.
me wake up,
That'd be nice.
he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please. It's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal.
This
I
is
am
creepy,
normal.
dude.
Yeah.
This is creepy.
Everything will be fine. I am
But I'm not okay, am I?
okay.
I'm not okay. Called it. I'm not okay. Not even a little bit, okay? I'm gonna run. I'm just gonna run.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley.
I'm running.
Boss, I have an office.
I'm running. I'm running, man.
Someone tell me I am real.
No.
I must be real. I must anyone hear my voice?
No.
And everything.
Oh, what? Did I die? Did I lose? I think I just lost.
This is the story of a
Who
woman
is this?
named Mariella. Mariella woke up.
Who the heck is this?
Just keep
She
watching.
rose, got dressed, cleared her belongings, and walked
I
to her
died!
place of work. But on
How
this
did I
particular
die?
day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy.
I should have talked to my boss.
Knew.
I should have just talked to my boss.
What crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing
Well, I'm
this
glad
man
you
made
feel
her
better.
better.
I'm glad I helped you.
Then she remembered the meeting
had to
she
die
had
to make her
scheduled
feel
for that
better.
day. The
But at
very
least I didn't die in
important
vain.
people whose impressions of
kinda
her
did.
would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment
a long
that
moment.
she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
What the heck? Did I really just lose by
Yeah.
going to the basement?
Yep.
The basement kills me?
Yep.